Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I got this like a brown half cut crease with like an ombre effect. At least I tried. I really like it. It's like super sleek, I guess, for like date night. It's simple but still like girly in a way. So if you guys like what you see, then keep on watching. Alright guys, so I'm going in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Sand, and I'm going to put some of that on my eyelids, but I'm going to grab a flat top brush and carve out the very bottom of my eyebrows, just so I know like where the eyeshadow stops, and so I can prep them for when I actually fill them in. And after I finish carving out the very bottom of it, I'm going to grab my beauty blender and just blend out the rest of the concealer on my eyelids. Alright, and to set my eyelids, I'm using the Airspun Translucent Powder with a fluffy brush from Real Techniques. I bought this powder from Walmart, I believe, for like $5, and it's my absolute favorite, so if you guys haven't tried it out, I suggest it. And for the eyes, we're actually going in with the Anastasia Contour Kit. Mine is tan to deep, so I have like an orange shade that I'm never going to use, and I'm using this as my transition shade. So I'm just going to put that all over the crease. And I actually found this palette at TJ Maxx for $18, I believe, which is probably like half off of what you can find it for at Sephora. So now going into the darkest brown in the palette, I'm going to put that on my outer lid, and we're just going to be blending that out because we're going to be adding a lot more brown to it. And of course, we're going to do the same thing to the other eye. So now we're picking up the second to darkest brown in the palette, and we're going to be placing that in the middle of our lid to create an ombre effect. Okay, dipping into Hot Chocolate from the Self-Made palette by Anastasia, I'm going to be creating like a V in the outer corner of my eye, and we're just going to blend that out and of course do the same thing to the other eye. Alright, so I'm going to be taking the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer again and putting some on the back of my hand. And I'm going to use the Morphe M432 brush, it's just a flat top brush, to create the half cut crease on my eye. This is probably the hardest thing to explain, but you'll see I'm just kind of following like the hollows of my eyes. And I'm in like the most awkward position in front of the camera. I apologize, but you guys can see I'm just kind of following like my natural line. And mine ends up being like a third of a cut crease, but that's kind of what I wanted. I kind of wanted like that ombre effect. And of course we're going to blend this out and set everything. So doing the same thing to the other eye, you can see I'm like super shaky. I have to like pause. But of course you don't have to create the half cut crease if you don't like it or it's just too complicated for you. You can literally just leave the eyeshadow blended out how it is. It looks super nice if you just put like a bright highlight in your inner corner and leave it as that. So here I just grabbed the tiniest brush that I had, and I'm making sure that everything's blended out and getting those little corners that I couldn't get, like the roundness, with the flat top brush. Now we're dipping into the shade Buttery from the Self-Made palette by Anastasia, and we're going to be setting the half cut crease with it. It's like a yellow shade, kind of like a bone undertone, but it's super brightening. So here I was totally out of frame, but I'm getting one of the brown shades and just kind of blending everything out, making sure that everything looks smooth. I'm focusing it more on like the middle where the concealer stops so it doesn't look super like chunky. And of course the same thing on the other eye. Finally, for foundation, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade 128 and just blending that out with my dirty beauty blender. Don't make fun of me. So with the same concealer that I've been using in the video, I'm going to be concealing under my eyes, my chin, my forehead, and my nose, and then blending everything out with my beauty blender. So I didn't realize that I didn't film when I was setting my face, but I used the Airspun powder, and now I'm dipping into the lightest brown in the contour palette by Anastasia and contouring my cheekbones and a little bit on the forehead. To bronze the face, I'm going to dip into the Becca and Chrissy Teigen palette, and using that bronzer, I'm just going to bronze all over my face. I honestly only bought this palette because I love Chrissy Teigen. She's my favorite person ever, but the highlights are a little bit like peachy undertone, like I guess orange when I put them on, so I don't really like those, but I like the bronzer and the blush a lot. From the same palette, I'm taking the blush on an angled fluffy brush and just blushing my cheeks. So now I'm just gonna brush away the loose powder and we're done with the face other than highlight. I'm taking the Morphe E36 brush to get a little smokiness going on under the eye. And I'm taking that burnt orange shade from the contour kit by Anastasia and just blending that all over my lower lash line. Taking the second to darkest brown in the palette, I'm going to just blend that out in the middle of my eye. So we're going to be creating like an ombre effect under the eye as well. So just going to blend that out, keep it like in the middle. And then taking the darkest brown, we're going to blend that out in the outer corner of our lower lash line. And if you guys can hear my dogs barking in the background, I'm sorry. They bark nonstop. My sister's dog literally barks at birds all day, so that's what you hear. Here I'm just going to be showing you guys the difference of a smoky under eye and not. It makes all the difference. Next, I'm going to be doing my eyebrows and lashes off of camera. I use the Anastasia Dip Brow for my eyebrows and the Wispy Lashes from Ardell. These are my favorite and you can find them literally everywhere. So setting my face with the MAC Fix Plus, I like to set before I put highlight on because I like when the highlight is wet. I feel like it's a lot more brightening. And I'm going to be using Champagne Pop from Becca and Jaclyn Hill. So to apply the highlight, I'm using the Morphe M510 brush, and it's a super fluffy brush, but it keeps the highlight exactly where you want it. Using the detailer brush from Real Techniques, I'm highlighting my nose, the point of my nose, my cupid's bow, and my eyebrow bone. Of course, I wanted my highlight a little bit brighter, so I'm wetting the brush and adding highlight to my cheekbones, and you can see it makes all the difference. Also wetting the detailer brush, I'm going to be adding highlight to my inner corner just to give me kind of a pop because everything is so matte on the eyes. And I'm just going to be blending the highlight and bronzer together with a big fluffy brush. For lips, I'm going to be going in with the NYX Liquid Suede. This is a cream lipstick, so it's super, super comfortable on the lips, and I'm using the shade Soft Spoken. So I'm definitely going to slaughter this name, but this is the lipstick from Bite Cosmetics, and I want to say it's called Enoki, E-N-O-K-I, I'm not sure, but I'm placing that in the middle of the lips, kind of to brighten everything up a little bit more. Because everything was so matte on the face, I ended up adding a gloss, and I love how it turned out. I hope you guys love it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.